Stop! Yo! Something tells me to kill him dead up in this piece. Angry frustrations I shall release, cause I'm about to let loose the beast. Ha! Hear ye, all you asshole MCs. It's time to throw a party for it's the doomsday. If your leader, Captain Ass Crack. If you want protection, play the rear. No man in this world I fear. My sound beats down for your protection. I advise you wear headgear. I spill the beans on Bruce Wayne, known as Batman. Cape no crusader, just your average white man. Who me, I'm black man. More superhero than Letterman. I come equipped with joints like these to be the shit, removing the S to the back. And somehow I still make hits. Don't you look around, I need you thinking like the space between an asshole and clitoris on a 50-year homeless woman. Now ain't that some shit? You bite too many styles, that's not hard to believe. Your captain's Alibaba and you, one of the 40 thieves. Trying mocking, trying to reach my levels like peas when storm creates obese monstrous mechanisms like this. I've been around and seen a lot of MCs get wrecked from a lack of respect because there is no competition. I've been around and seen a lot of MCs get wrecked from a lack of respect because there is no competition. I've been around and seen a lot of MCs get wrecked from a lack of respect because there is no competition. There is no competition. Competition is none. God bless the child who sparks it off like the sun. Ha! You don't understand. I be black man changing like a chameleon. I worth every bit of 6 million. MC rotisserie, they call me the colonel. From spirit the six spice that brings about death, downfalls, and funerals. I do you stunt MCs like Knievel with my evil. Ask my lord, he broke the mold and made me the unbeatable. I am the shepherd when rhyming, bringing silence to the lambs. Clarice, with father beans in the nice candy, crumbling kingdoms. That have the rulers resort to ruling shanties. Bringing crews, send them in the twos. I'm Noah. In the ring, I do him Apollo Creed. Ivan drag off the Balboa, constricting rhymes around neck, stopping breath, foot on neck. He can't breathe. Pierre, bring on tombstones and soft soil. Be all you can be. It ain't much. Ask any GI, I'm the builder, gets them caught up in the clutch. There's no survivors when they fuck around with the do-or-diver. Oh my God, Rizzo Rizakin is the high wire. I've been around and seen a lot of MCs get wrecked from a lack of respect because there is no competition. I've been around and seen a lot of MCs get wrecked from a lack of respect because of no competition. I've been around and seen a lot of MCs get wrecked from a lack of respect because there is no competition. There is no competition. Competition is none. God bless the child who sparks it off like the sun. I clash like the Titan, took him harder than the Kraken. Stole by the head of Medusa. Beat this maneuver. Styles of grains of challenges like the industrial Hoover. I get them open like butt cheeks on a porno freak. Have them screaming something terrible like sorority grease. I be the greatest killer of all time. These mustache about to leave him KO on couch longer than Rip Van Winkle. With a flash, you his tongue that clashes clay like Cassius Hinkle. I land on them seas like abandoned islands. Sending out SOS, some old shit you ain't heard before. Leave the fifth mark, you're soft as Birdman. I hit homers and run like OJ, spilling a Bronco on the highway. Boy, you lying MCs sure are dandy, so I cross-pollinate to make you daffy lying pussy. Wallowing in a field of crabgrass ass rappers. Tell them to run, oh my God. Here comes Kid Law. Go tell your mama.
Spirituality supports reality. 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 Spirituality supports reality.
This is an African set, more respect. I saw the light and now I got to reflect straight back. Here's a little message while you live, and what I got to give is somewhat positive. Spade, the brother's gonna serve rhythmatically. Pass up on to you what was taught to me. That was Afrocentricity about being spiritual. So here we go to proceed quite lyrical. Praise the one for which I pledge my stand. Peace to the creator, word to the motherland. I got to give it up, cause I'm down with Casa. Jumped in the circle, I was told we have to stand together as one in unity. Amongst ourselves, amongst our community. Strong, repelling the interference of genocide. Luther King died to keep the dream alive. Mandela, the fella served 25, still revives. Speaking, teaching others to survive. And look, Taurus, the Nubian place. Your mind is a waste if you don't know your race or heritage. History of the Afro-American, who's truly African. African, there's no comparison. We're all the same underneath the skin, whether dark or light. You might be my kid, so I relate to my brothers and my sisters. See, to the east, to the east, to the east of me. We traveled over here by slave ship. I dropped a bomb on the Uncle Tom, who ain't hip, straight to the situation of the Asiatic nation. I slapped him in the face with righteous information, stating diseducating only facts and reality that's well supplemented by spirituality.
Spirituality supports reality. 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 Spirituality supports reality.
It's quite obvious who my ancestors were. It shows clear, but sometimes I see a blur of anger between me and the past. I look on to what I learned in school, but that's trash, the white man's words. So that's his story. For a sellout example, watch glory. Back to the present days, it's another phase. We strive to know about African ways, the culture, the language, the things that we're missing. Cast out your mind and start fishing. Listen for wisdom, seek words and knowledge. Peace is invited to the United Negro College. There's nothing to do with being black or white, but it's the state of common sense and knowing what's right, what's wrong, what's up and what's down. Put your eyes to the sky and 2 feet on the ground. Now how that sound from one who don't know much, but I know enough to flow. Speak my peace to each, my right, my freedom of speech, and at the same time teach a lesson, expressing myself like a riot, the voice of the unheard or the quiet. Although the chains of bond have been broken, the shackles of the mind is still holding on the same. Just as a rope on a chain, a whip on my back and a cross in flame. The 3Ks say we're inferior, no, so let's show that we're proud and spiritual.
Spirituality supports reality. Spirituality supports reality.
The African Heritage Diet consists of 6 lessons. Lessons where we reach back to our African heritage to find culturally appropriate health and wellness practices that help us to move forward as a people that are whole in mind, body, and spirit. Lesson 1 is herbs and spices. Lesson 2 are greens. Greens is the widest part in the base of the African Heritage Diet food pyramid. So many greens should be consumed. And as you move up the pyramid, those are the things that you consume in lesser proportionate amounts. Whole grains, lesson 3. Beans and rice, lesson 4. Tubers and mashes, lesson 5. Lesson 6. Fruits, vegetables, and a healthy lifestyle.
I am a genius. My ancestors were geniuses. My ancestors have made me a genius in all that I think, say, and do. I must declare myself a genius. I am a genius. Whenever I am myself, I practice my geniusness and do great things. All my thoughts, choices, and deeds must express my geniusness.
I am a genius. My decisions must always be in the best interest of myself, my family, my people, and my God. Only then will I and everyone I know that I am a genius.
I am a genius. At all times, my geniusness must reflect my culture. My geniusness must serve my God. My geniusness must make me be one in love and harmony with my family. My geniusness must protect my people. Yes, at all times, I must demonstrate excellence because I am a genius.
goddesses were black. Not just for the African now, in the civilization of the Greeks. The Greek was so profoundly affected by the Africans that the goddess of chastity was a black woman, Artemis. The goddess of wisdom was a black woman, Minerva. The goddess of beauty was a black woman, Diana. And many of their great mythological figures which were critical to the vision of history, the history of the Greeks in the Odyssey. The woman who draws, who has the power to draw Odysseus and all his crew into her, is Circe, who is represented as a black woman with African features on the Greek vases. The woman who helps Jason win the golden fleece is a black woman, Medea. The woman who marries Perseus, the Greek hero, is
What is a lion without his pride? What is a whale without his pod? What is a monkey without his troop? What is a wolf without his pack? The answer is very simple. They are the same thing that a human being is without a tribe. Pray.
Peace, this is Brother Hatim, and you have joined us on Giami Journey Radio. Be sure to check out our site and subscribe at tribe.giamijourney.com.
All my brothers and sisters, hold hands and bow your heads.
Time for us to get busy. Oh, man. I'm running a little bit late.
God standeth in the conduct.
But I'm alive.
Judgeth amongst the gods. How long will you judge
Man.
unjust and accept the persons of the wicked? I say.
Getting up out that tub was rough today, boy.
Justice to the afflicted and the needy.
Got home, man. I've been frustrated over the last 2 days. Don't talk about it.
They understand. They walk on in darkness.
Gotta say goodbye to my chair.
I miss you. Your God. And all of you are
You going to a higher purpose.
But you shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth. For thou shalt inherit all nations. Allahu Akbar.
Man. As we travel down memory lane, that Warrior's Handbook to Life Training. That's the letter I got from somebody that was listening to me. I didn't know was listening to me at the hookah shop. There's some ideas. Oh, man.
This is Kadar.
Time for us to get started.
You are listening to the Giami Journey Radio.
Oh. Let's get it, man.
Keep up with the journey. Check out what we have done in the past. Go to journeyarchives.com.
Come on. Bring that beat. I want to welcome you tonight. Giami Journey Media.
This is Adnan Sheik,
We
aka
are
Ace, live from Shisha
doing
Lounge.
folk
And you're
tales.
now listening to Giami
Grown
Journey
folks.
Radio.
Send the babies to bed. About to have some real talk tonight. We're going to talk about this dragon mentality. The dog in the manger. I know y'all like, what in the hell does a dragon got to do with the dog in the manger, brother? I read that folktale before. I don't see any similarities between the dragon, the mind state family, that we often run into.
This is Adnan Sheik, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge. And you are now listening
On
to
Folktales for
Giami
Grown
Journey
Folks, we
Radio.
often find out that these folktales have a lot to do with our lives today, even though they may be thousands and thousands of years old. Dog and Manger is gonna hit home, man. Tell you Anime like them. Tell them Anime. Oh,
This is Moine. This is Giami Journey Radio.
we're gonna bring it in this week. We're gonna bring it in, fam. We about to listen. We about to get up, move from this location to our new location.
Welcome to Giami.
Family is about to get going.
We're
gonna start building.
I want to give a shout out to my mom. I give a shout out to my dad for raising me and my family for being around me. And I want to give a shout out to
Feel
the
that
people
beat.
of my generation that's trying to do something big.
Man. Come on in, family. Like and share. Make sure other family members know we on.
This is Cleveland.
I know I was supposed to broadcast earlier today, but I said, nah, I got to my adventure.
Hotep. It's Mansour Hotep, aka Mr.
hey,
Deity.
check it
Mr.
out.
Deity, does it sound good? I think it sounds
We're gonna start
great.
blogging
Right
every day
now,
too. I'm
listen
working
to
on getting
Giami
back
Journey
into my
Radio.
I don't feel like necessarily writing it down, but now I got this new little camera function. We're gonna start doing some blogging. I'm working on getting to the blogging. Hey, it shouldn't be skipping. This is
Brother Hatem coming at you.
This is digital.
Live.
The hell?
You are now listening to the Giami Journey.
Call your friends.
Radio.
Let them know we about to break down a life-changing hotel. Put them babies to bed. It's going down. Whoever in the house, let me know. Black line is open, 614-556-4535. Let me help y'all out. Black line is open. How's it skipping? What's going on? Am I overburdening my? Am I overburdening my CPU? What's going on?
You don't deserve
But you know, I got a Ryzen 7 coming, but I think it's an older one.
And you are now listening to the
So we're gonna have to really put some work in. We're gonna put some work in on this desktop. Me and Cleve, we're gonna put this thing together with me and Cleve and the girls. I'm gonna let the girls participate too. But we're gonna put something together.
Radio.
But we might not never have to worry about none of this stuff for at least the next 3 years as we start growing. Especially when we get on, we building our own social media site, Brother Hatem. We're building the promised land. Yeah, we building the promised land.
You are now
You're gonna be able to be you.
on Giami
Journey
Radio.
Radio.
Well, at least if you're a G&J Media supporter. Man, I had enough too. I've had enough. Had enough. Family, I have had enough. And yes, this is Gina's dad and Sasha's dad and Cleveland's dad and Wisdom's dad and a whole bunch of other young adults' dads right now on the air talking with you. And we are at Folk Tales for Grown Folks. That's right. We kicking it right here with Folk Tales for Grown Folks, and we're going to talk about it today. Black lines are open, so if anybody want to join the conversation, by all means, join the conversation, because it is going to be very, very eye-opening, because you're going to notice that you got some dogs in your life. And I'm going to connect it to the dragon, too, because it's a dragon mentality that has often been portrayed in a lot of folk tales, a lot of legends, right? The dragon represents a mind state. This dog represents a mind state that is very dangerous. And you got to weed it out in yourself, in your family, and in your tribes, and beyond. Because this mind state drags everyone down. And it destroys. All right, so let's go. Let's see. We're going to let's do this one. Give us time to make this switch. Oh, I did it already. All right, cool. So let me make sure we got the proper screen up. I keep forgetting that these transitions take a little while, right? And I'll be slipping. But and my camera be dragging. Look at that. I mean, I'm throwing so much out I can't keep up. So look at that. The whole damn thing froze. Good grief. All right. So the proverb of course, y'all know we pull from Aesop Fables. This is translated by George Fowler Townsend. All right. And this one details, it has some nice translation, but also I want to go through some of the other translations. I'm going to read this one first, straight out the book, so that the book can stay used. It's a very short proverb. Those of you that are on the Nguza Saba Challenge, I just submitted the Nguza Saba Challenge for a workbook, and as far as being able to publish it and to present it to the community, all of those that are G&J Media supporters, of course, you will be getting yours for free. Everybody else, you know what I'm saying? It will be available. I still haven't, I haven't decided the price yet, because it's a small PDF, but it's gonna be one that you're gonna be able to use over and over again, and use it for your growth as well as your own personal initiation. And Gianni, we real big on initiation. We had a proverb just a couple of days ago, in African Opens to the Tree of Life. We on chapter 2 now, but one of the proverbs we cover says, about initiation. Initiation teaches perpetual initiation, right? In GME Journey, we're big on initiation, group initiations, as well as individual challenging themselves. As a matter of fact, I am proud to say that we have a young brother that has decided to take himself through an initiation. Actually, maybe two brothers. I only spoke to one. I'm old, so people don't let me know what's going on. But I think we had two brothers going out for an ablation. They went out to California to meet with some of our family members out in California, some of our Native American brothers and sisters out there, to go and go through the amblacha and bring something back for the family. There was a challenge. For those of you that know, we were planning to have a camping trip in August. And one of the things that the young brothers, and this is wild to me, one of the things the young brothers wanted to do, they wanted to do a sweat lodge. So they go to Royalty and they're like, yo, man, we need to do a sweat lodge at the camping trip. You know what I'm saying? And our family here that sweats, here the sweat lodge is stable and is permanent, but it had to close down because the family moved. But we do have family through Simba that provides the Simba Nation with the sweat lodge. And so Royalty was like, man, we're not going to be able to afford to do that. He said, we can't, he said, well, Brother Devin can run it. I said, what? So, I'm walking through and Royalty look at me and be like, yo, the young brothers is talking about doing the sweat lodge. I said, shit, we can't afford the sweat lodge. You know what I'm saying? They talking about Devin could do it. I said, damn, you know what? Devin do remember all the songs. Devin know the songs. He got a good mind for that type of stuff because he's a musician. And I said, well, damn, maybe he could. So I go and I talk to Devin. I say, Brother Devin, the young boys is talking about you doing the sweat lodge. I mean, because we do know how to build one because we had at least 3 generations, 3 groups of young people of different age groups that all went through and participated in building this sweat lodge. They know what to look for. You know what I'm saying? They know how to structure it. They know how to tie. You know what I'm saying? I said, cool. So Devin says, well, let me call our brother Naichi and get permission. So Devin does that, and I don't hear no more about it. And then we find out that the camping trip is canceled. So I call one of the young brothers because I found out he had a business venture, and I won't talk about it right now. I'll wait till we get back so that we can go on and announce it to the family here. I said, young dude, I understand you got a business. He said, I said, I want to talk business with you. You got time? He said, well, we're going to talk business. I got time, but I got to get ready to get to the airport. So what you mean? He said, well, I'm going to California. I said, you going to California? Yeah. And he told me the story. You know what I'm saying? Because he was one of the young brothers that spoke to Royalty and said that we need to do the sweat lodge. And he made arrangements to go out to California himself with Devin so that he can be trained in how to bring the sweat tradition to Giame. I said, oh my God. I mean, we got some live young people. I want to give them a round of applause because, you know what I'm saying, they knew what they wanted, they knew how to get it, and they made it happen. What can I say? What can I say? You know what I'm saying? That's part of the tradition, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you want something, make it happen. Make it happen. That's a key component of Giame journey. You know what I'm saying? Make it happen. And I know a lot of people kind of get upset when we say stuff like that, but when you take that mind state, this is what happens, right? You are able to pull the impossible out. You are able to do things that you thought you would never be able to do. The young brothers wanted to bring the sweat lodge. The young brothers wanted to bring the sweat lodge. And what did they bring? What did they do? One of them took it upon himself with one of the older brothers, right? Took it upon themselves to go out and be able to bring that tradition home. Powerful. Powerful. So I need y'all to understand, right, that when Giame start going out, right, when Giame goes out, right, we taking the sweat tradition with us in the proper fashion. in a powerful fashion out to the woods with us. I can't do nothing but take a breath on that one, right? All right, but anyway, let's get to it. The dog in the manger. I put the dog and the manger. It's the dog in the manger. A dog lay in a manger, and by his growling and snapping prevented the oxen from eating the hay which had been placed for them. What a selfish dog, said one of them to his companions. He cannot eat the hay himself, and yet he refuses to allow those to eat who can. Let me read that for you one more time. The dog in the manger. A dog lay in a manger, and by his growling and snapping prevented the oxen from eating the hay which had been placed for them. What a selfish dog, said one of them to his companions. He cannot eat the hay himself, and yet refuses to allow those to eat who can. How many times have you run into this in your life? How many times have you been an ox? How many times have you been a dog? I know I've been both of them in my life. Shit, sometimes I've been the hay. Sometimes I've been the manger, right? See, because when we look at these folk tales, it is important that we understand that all of these are symbols for us to work in our mind. And by us working in our mind, we do what we call in geometry wisdom mining. We are able to extract the wisdom that we can. And as we get older, right, and as we work more and more with these stories, with these folk tales, with these proverbs, with these myths, with these legends, we are able to distill wisdom. Wisdom that we don't have to bump our head for, because usually, you know what I'm saying, we get wisdom from experience. We get wisdom from being involved in the thing for a very long time, but there are certain rules of thumb that if we are able to grasp them, they give us insight that we usually would miss. I think they call them rules of thumb or heuristics. And what our ancestors left us was some rules of thumb and some heuristics that we would be able to use to kind of guide our lives. Not even to kind of, but to guide our lives into power. So let's go and look at some other translations here. So here we go. Starting off. People often begrudge others what they cannot enjoy themselves. A dog sleeping on hay will not let other animals eat from the hay. People often begrudge others what they cannot enjoy themselves. I'm going to bring you to that dragon. Hold on. Call in line 614-556-4535. Once again, call in lines 614-556-4535. Here's the Aesop for children. So I'll tell this one, then y'all gonna send the babies to bed, because we gonna have us a nice little quick conversation about this unless y'all call in. Because this one is I mean, I ain't gonna say it's simple because it's, you know, at where I'm at right now, you know, I'm gonna go on one layer, but maybe somebody out there might have some wisdom that somebody out in the world might need. So stop hiding your wisdom up under a bushel, please. A dog asleep in a manger filled with hay was awakened by the cattle, which came in tired and hungry from working in the field. But the dog would not let them get near the manger, and snarled and snapped as if it were filled with the best of meat and bones, all for himself. The cattle looked at the dog in disgust. "How selfish he is," said one. "He cannot eat the hay, and yet he will not let us eat it are you so hungry for it? Oh, who are so hungry for it? He will not let us who will, my fault, let me finish. He cannot eat the hay, and yet he will not let us eat who are so hungry for it. Now the farmer came in. When he saw how the dog was acting, he seized a stick and drove him out of the stable with many a blow for his selfish behavior. Moral, do not grudge others what you cannot enjoy yourself. This is Elliot Jacob version. A dog, for his afternoon nap, jumped into a manger of an ox and lay there on the straw. The ox, returning from its afternoon work, came up to the manger and wanted to eat some of the straw. The dog, in a rage, being awakened from his slumber, stood and barked at the ox. And whenever it came near, attempted to bite it. At last, the ox had to give up the hope of getting that straw and went away muttering. Here's a Samuel Croxall. A dog was laying upon a manger full of hay. An ox, being hungry, came near and offered to eat of the hay. But the envious, ill-natured dog, or cur, getting up and snarling at him, would not suffer him to touch it. Upon which the ox, in the bitterness of his heart, said, "A curse light on thee for malicious wretch, who will neither eat hay thyself nor suffer others to do it." Now, let's get to this application, because these be pretty good. All these proverbs don't have these, but I like just reading through these so that we can get some different perspectives. The application. Make sure you like and share, family. Click that thumbs up or something, or whatever's out there. You know what I'm saying? Hit that button so that you know when we coming on. Because we don't got the black signal going out no more. Couldn't afford it. But anyway, envy is the most unnatural and unaccountable of all the passions. There is scarce any other emotion of the mind, however unreasonable, but may have something said in excuse for it. And there are many of these weaknesses of the soul, which, notwithstanding the wrongness and irregularity of them, swell the heart while they last with pleasure and gladness. But the envious man has no such apology, as this too makes the stronger the passion is, the greater the torment he endures, and subjects himself to a continual real pain, by only wishing ill to others. Revenge is sweet, though cruel and inhuman, and though it sometimes thirsts even for blood, yea, may be glutted and satiated. Avarice is something highly monstrous and absurd, yet as it is a desire after riches, every little acquisition gives it pleasure, and to behold and feel the hoarded treasure to a covetous man is a constant, uncloying enjoyment. But envy, which is an anxiety arising in our minds upon our observing accomplishments in others, which we want ourselves, can never achieve any true comfort unless in a deluge, a conflagration, a plague, or some general calamity that should befall mankind. For as long as there is a creature living that enjoys its being happily within the evilest man's sphere, it would afford nourishment to his distemperate mind, but such nourishment as will make him pine and fret and emaciate himself to nothing. Now, this is JBR collection, and then we got the Townsend, and then we done. We ain't got to read the Townsend again. A dog was lying in a manger full of hay, and an ox, being hungry, came near and was going to eat of the hay. The dog, getting up and snarling at him, would not let him touch it. "Surely, creature," said the ox, "you cannot eat the hay yourself, and yet you will let no one else have any?" Come on, man. How many of y'all got this type of individual in your life? How many of you are this type of individual in your life? You get satisfaction and joy from being able to deny others things that you cannot have, things that you cannot use. This is why I kind of describe it as a dragon mind state. in many cases, it is a West Asian mind state, right? Because the dragon plays a very large role in their mythology, in their legends, even in some of their folk tales. The dragon. Why do I compare this to the dragon? The dragon in these stories always hoards something that it cannot use. In Tolkien's A Lord of the Ring, the dragon was sitting. Was it Lord of the Ring? What Lord of the Ring is the one before Lord of the Ring. Well, anyway, the dragon sat on mountains and mountains of gold. And you often hear in these stories about dragons snatching up all the treasure of the land. Dragons snatching the virgins and keeping them in a cave. And the dragon can make use of neither one. It just didn't want anybody else to have these things. And in order for others to have it, the dragon had to be slayed. Let me say that again. In order for others to have these things and put them to use, the dragon had to be slayed. Dragons didn't go to markets. They didn't need gold. Dragons couldn't do nothing with a human female. But it hoarded all of this stuff, just like this dog in the manger. Its pleasure was to bring pain and sorrow to others because it controlled something in his life. The little small little bit of control that it can have, it'll hang on to it and it will stop you. How many of y'all done ran into this in your career or in your education or in your personal relationships? Individuals that just sat on shit that they could not use, sat on ideas that they could not use, and begrudgingly held it from you. They wouldn't let you in the manger to eat, even though you put the work in out in the field and you deserved the food. They would get violent with you and feel totally justified in the bullshit that they did. Oh, yes, family, this is a story about you. This is a story about me. Because many of us have been on both sides of it. If we're going to be honest with ourselves, many of us have been on both sides of it. There's a sick type of pleasure that comes from being in the position that that dog is in. It's a sick little power that comes along with it, as they talk about in this piece right here. In the application, envy is the most unnatural and unaccountable of all the passions. There is scarce any other emotion of the mind, however unreasonable, but may have something said in excuse for it. And there are many of these weaknesses of the soul which, notwithstanding the wrongness and irregularity of them, swell the heart while they last with pleasure and gladness. The dog felt a strange type of pleasure from being able to stop these other animals who could use the hay. The dog used the hay for nothing but to lay on. The dog could go lay in the goddamn grass. The dog could go lay up under a tree. But the dog is choosing to lay on something that others can use and selfishly keep them from using it, even though they need it more than the dog does. This brought the dog a sick type of pleasure. How many of us done ran into people like that? Come on now. I know I'm not alone, family. Call in line 614-556-4535. Call in and let me know when you ran into a dog like this. When you ran into a dragon like this. Couldn't use the resource, but wanted to hog the goddamn resource. Wanted to control the resource. Didn't even know what to do with the damn resource. It just had it. And refused to allow those that could use it to use it. You know, Y'all know I could take this to reparations, right? You know I can, right? I'm gonna let y'all do that. I'm not gonna take it to reparations, right? Because we got a bunch of dogs sitting on some goddamn hay that they can't use. That they can't consume. The cow can consume the hay and turn it into energy so they will be able to go out and work. But the dog could do nothing but sleep on the hay. A commodity that the dog could find in many other places. But because the dog was able to feel power, a sense of control that outside of the manger he couldn't maintain. We see in one of the stories that the dog, what treatment the dog got when the master came into the manger and saw that the dog was hindering its progress or his progress. Beat the hell out the dog. Get out of here, you mutt. Just like with the dragon, you got to vanquish. You got to vanquish the dog. You got to vanquish the dragon so that you could get access to the resources in your life. What is the dragon that's stopping you from moving towards what it is that you want? What it is that you need to be? What it is that you was born, put here on this planet, decided to return here. Yes, Brother Hatim said that. Decided to return to this planet to accomplish. What is it? What is the dog? What is the dragon that's stopping you? What is the dragon or the dog that you have to vanquish? See, because what's crazy to me is that the ox is bigger and stronger than the goddamn dog. Dog might be a little bit faster, but it only take one kick. Only take one goring of a horn to knock him off, but the ox is not willing to, in a sense, vanquish the dog. And was going to be satisfied with either waiting for the dog to decide that he was going to leave or waiting for somebody to come and remove the dog. And many of us take that ox's mind state when it comes to us getting what we need, especially for our people. We'll sit around and we'll wait for somebody to have a change of heart before we collect what is due to us. And I'm saying it's time for that shit to stop, family. That dog got to get the fuck up out the manger. You got to get that dog up out your life. You got to vanquish that dragon. You got to destroy it. Call in lines open 614-556-4535. Call in and tell me about some of the dogs in your life. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about them. Let's talk about how to put this dog on the goddamn leash and keep him up out your manger. Man, let me go give me some ambrosia. That cool, refreshing drink. Hey, Cleve. Hold on, family. It's Real Life at Gianni Journey. Let me give y'all a commercial real quick. I'll be right back.
What is a lion without his pride? What is a whale without his pod? What is a monkey without his crew? What is a wolf without his pack? The answer is very simple. They are the same thing that a human being is without a tribe. Pray.
Are we back? Are we back? Yeah, we back. Let me make sure everything is up. We back? Think we back. Okay. All right. We back. All right. So, I'm going to pop one of these bottles. Got a few bottles. And I usually don't cool mine. But the reason I'm cooling some of these is because I wanted them to stay ready because I'm going to pop one of these bottles from one of my brothers when he get home. Right? So, we're going to go on and pop it. I'm going to move it away from the, Yep, move it away from the electronics. But I want to make sure y'all can see it. All right, you ready? Ooh, that's nice. But you can see that smoke coming up out of there? It's nice and cool, though. You know, you pour, you let a little bit of the smoke go down there. Oh, man. This one been sitting there for a while. I want y'all to look at that. Look at that. That's that ambrosia. That cool, refreshing drink. When you let it sit, you know what I'm saying? Let it sit and age, right? All right. Oh, my God. I see y'all tried to hide the cherries from me. Y'all hoarding the cherries. Come on, man. Drink before you waste it on my stuff.
That was mommy.
Yeah. Yeah, my brother gonna love this. But he ain't gonna get this one. Anyway. But yeah, so now. So what dog is stopping you? What? Or better yet, who you stopping? See, because the strongest part about these folk tales is that sometimes we have to face the fact that we are not always the good guy in the story. You know what I'm saying? But I'm on, you know, you can share whatever you want. Lines are open, 614-556-4535. Black lines are open, 614-556-4535. I want to talk about those dogs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you a dog call in, let me holler at you. Let me deflea your ass, right? You know what I'm saying? Because some dogs just need to be defleed. You know what I'm saying? They got a little bug up their ass. You understand? But hold on. Yeah, we missed something. It said envy pretends to no other happiness. So, I mean, and you know, the language is kind of funny. It said envy pretends to no other happiness than what it derives from the misery of other people, and will rather eat nothing itself than not starve those that would. I want you to think about this. Brother Kwame put pray up there. Shouts out to Brother Kwame. I see you out there. Envy pretends to no other happiness than what it derives from the misery of other people. Does that not sound like the goddamn situation we are in right here in North America? Envy pretends to no other happiness than what it derives from the misery of other people, and will rather eat nothing itself than not starve those that would. I'm telling y'all, I do not pick this shit. You know what I'm saying? We are going in order. If this does not fit the situation that we're dealing with reparations, if it does not fit the situation that we're dealing with as we are in COVID, if it does not fit the situation that we're dealing with in our education system, which we really need to talk about, because if we are seriously talking about reparations, then we definitely need to take control of the education system that is influencing and molding and shaping our children, because we got dogs in the manger. They're not allowing our children to eat, and they would rather starve themselves to death as well as starve our children to death rather than allow them to really eat upon the wisdom that will allow them to improve themselves. We got dogs in the manger in our lives. We got individuals that would rather hold on to us. You know what I'm saying? They would rather hold on to us and do absolutely nothing with us. And but as long as nobody else can get with us. We got jobs that's doing the same thing. I'm going to hold on to you. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want nobody else to have you, even though I ain't got no use for you. And some of us are acting as dogs in our own lives where we're keeping ourselves stuck and starving even though there's a whole world for us to eat on. We're holding ourselves back. Look, this one right here, man. I forgot. Look, they got rhymes. This one is major. They got rhymes and stories. You know what I'm saying? For this one, the dog in the manger. Cow sought a mouth full of hay, but a dog in the manger there lay. And he snapped out, how now, when most mildly the cow adventured a morsel to prey. Don't be selfish. Man, oh man, oh man. I'm quite sure if I read it in Latin, we would get the same idea. You know, but I ain't gonna hold y'all up because I see y'all quiet tonight. You know, hey, we still got the morning toast. Good God Almighty. And it's still holding on to a sweetness when you put it in the fridge. The one good thing about putting it in the refrigerator, even though y'all know I like mine, the one good thing about putting it in the refrigerator is slows down the process. Don't stop the process. It slows down the process. And it's like the bacteria and the yeast take its time with the honey, man. But all right, so let's talk a little bit about Giame and some of the stuff that's coming. So one of the things I want to start trying to do a little bit every day is I'm gonna start going back to doing some blogging and some a little bit more. I ain't gonna say planned out because I hate, I like being spur of the moment, but I'm gonna do some more some pre-production, pre and post production pieces as far as a vlog. I'm opening up Giame Journey, GiameJourney.com again, because we're about to make some major shifts. But I need to go on and start uploading stuff to the blog again and get it active once again, because I was writing and maybe the writing will come back, but since the writing ain't here, I'm gonna need to just blog, do little short pieces, things that's on my mind, and just work it, share some of the stuff, maybe share some of my poetry out of my poetry book or some thoughts from one of my books, and keep on building and do some stuff like for the 21-day challenge for some of you out there, so that we could build together. But a lot of the Giame Journey property is going to be changing. So I want to get your minds ready because, in a sense, we will always be at gnjmedia.live, but in many ways we're going to have to leave, right? Because in many cases, some of this stuff is sort of like being coming out of the field, moving towards the manger, and there's a little dog sitting right there. And the dog won't let me get at the hay of the people, right? We got little gatekeepers that's stopping us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because like I said, I appreciate what I've been able to do on Facebook, but it's very limited on what I could do at Facebook. Why? Because even though Giame Journey is mine, you know what I'm saying, the platform belongs to somebody else. YouTube is, those of you that remember earlier this summer, I got cut off of YouTube for a little while because the platform belonged to somebody else. It took me a while to get back on Periscope The platform belongs to somebody else. And I can't begrudge it because the hay, the barn, the manger, it all belongs to somebody else. And one of the things that we wanted to move towards in Giammi Journey is being able to have our own manger with our own hay. And to be able to own the hay. And be able to own the manger and own the land that the hay came from. So one of the things that I'm looking forward to being able to open up to the people is a promised land, right? Where you can actually come and be black. We can actually talk about our shit. We can actually post up shit and speak our minds, right? Speak our minds. And it's ours. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, and it's coming. I just want y'all to understand that. You know, and like I said, it will be open to those who are supporters of Giammi Journey. Right now, that's a little bit, that's 20 plus the members of Giammi right now. You know what I'm saying? But I imagine as we start doing more dope stuff with it and start bringing out more content, we'll get more people there. See, because oftentimes I hear people say, we need our own platforms. We need our own this. We need our own that. You know what I'm saying? Let me just give you a story. I ain't gonna give you a story. I'm just gonna let me make it all the way raw. People always want something, all the way till they find out that they don't have the luxuries that other people were able to provide. Right? I'm gonna keep it all the way real with you. Right? So we'll open a platform, and because that platform is not as easy to navigate as Facebook, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. Because it don't have the amenities of Facebook, because it didn't have the time, the money, nor the resources to develop as Facebook did. See, especially for us old folks, that what we got to understand that by the time we got to Facebook had possibly been around for a few years, and they had learned and they built up to being $1 billion company, because it didn't start off as $1 billion company. It didn't start off with being able to run ads and being able to make money and being able to invest back in their product. They started at a certain place. They developed a certain group that decided to use this and found it useful and made it useful in different ways. And then they were able to build up. And the only reason you were able to use it is because advertisers advertise on it. That's why when you go down your timeline, you get special posts with ads on there. You even see Giammi Journey running ads on there. Same thing with the Google stuff. Same thing with YouTube. Unless you like me and you pay not to have ads. But all these platforms had time. And what we start to find out is that we have, like, I done had motherfuckers. Let's just keep all the way real. I done had black folks tell me, we need our own land. We need our own land. We don't need no money. We need land. Say, hey, brother, sister, we about to go out to the woods. I'm scared of bugs. The fuck? So you want land, but you want land fully developed and developed to a point to where you have total control of the bugs. If you want land, you get land. Exactly as it is. Not with no goddamn apartment complexes on it. Not with no electricity running into it. We have to be willing to start somewhere. So, Brother Hatim, how you going to fund this? I'm funding it right now because we have 20 million. Y'all know y'all be like, Brother Hatim, you doing a lot with these 20. You're goddamn right. With the 20 people that I am going to move mountains. I'm going to do whatever I can, because I know with the 20, if I'm able to serve the 20, they will tell other people the Giammi journey served them so well and brought such value to their life that by the time we look up next year, that 20 will grow exponentially. What do you mean, Brother High Tim? So exponential growth is 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 4, 4 go to 8, 8 go to 16, 16 to 32, 32 to 64, 64 to 128, 128 to 256, 256 to 512, 512 to 1024, 1024 to 2048, 2048 goes to what? 4076, right? It goes along the lines of, because our people are like, once you really start servicing our people and we start harnessing the power of reciprocity, we allow a process of exponential growth to start happening within our community. Now, what starts to happen is that other people see the exponential growth, and what happens is, if you are not dedicated to what you're doing, you get the exponential, you get it right up to the point of exponential growth, and when people notice it, you sell it. Giammi Journey we ain't in the selling business. We in the building business. How you sell a nation. How you sell a tribe. Right? You know what I'm saying? Because for years I couldn't understand the philosophy of some people. They'll start some shit and then they'll turn around and they sell that shit. I understand from the angle of being able to finance some of that stuff and not being able to take it to the next level. But we're trying to build some generational shit. But we have to start somewhere. So I'm saying all of that to say this, that part of the piece that's going to happen with this is that it's going to be open up to tribe supporters and tribe members only. Only. Because that's how it's going to be financed. Because it's those people who believed in what we're doing. Those people who in those pieces of hay, you know what I'm saying, that was able to slip past the dog and was like, yo, Giammi, I'll give you an opportunity. Right? We'll give you an opportunity. We're going to build that shit. Right? Because I had a couple of subscriptions and I'm already starting to cancel some of these subscriptions so that I could go on and take that little bit of money and start investing it in building up this platform. I want to control the server. I want to control how the server get to the internet. I want to control what's placed on the server. That's nation building. And it's starting with absolutely nothing. It's starting with the bare dirt that's there and turning that dirt into a home. That little plot of land, making that plot of land be able to produce. That's what nation building is all about. Sort of like making that ambrosia. Take a little bit of honey and green tea and make a beautiful drink. It's beautiful. And god damn. In the new place, I am going to have some refrigerated ambrosia. I appreciate what the refrigerator did to this shit here. Because it's been sitting in there for months. My wife gave me a little bit of space in the refrigerator. So that, because she's like, why are you taking up the space? I said, it's for my dude, my brother coming home. So I'm gonna pop it. I got a couple more in there for him. So that we could just sit there and mellow out and talk. Also, family, for those that are interested, Giammi, through a partnership with Urban Gems, we are able to start providing people with greens if they want them. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking somewhere between $4 and $5 a pound. Fresh, organic greens. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, we got since we can't do no damn festivals, we gotta get super creative. I gotta get creative so that we could get a little bit of cash flow going, because we can't do them all, right? And like I said, had a big vision for tomorrow, but once again, it ain't. I mean, family, please understand, because this is part of our issue. You want all the comforts. You say that this society is oppressing us, and you say that they don't treat us right, but you want all of the same comforts when it comes to us. How? When I have been oppressed like you my whole life, when I have been held back like you my whole life, when I have been struggling like you my whole life, how can I provide you a better experience, a more comfortable experience? I could fulfill certain aspects of it, but how do you expect me to give you the creature comforts that a motherfucker that's been robbing the world for the last last couple of thousand years can bring you? How do you expect it from any one of our companies, any one of our businesses? We say we want freedom, but we don't really want freedom. We just want to be comfortable. So why don't we be honest? Let's stop calling it freedom, and let's just call it, we want comfort. We don't want free. We want comfort. I don't like sitting on the floor. I want a couch. I don't want to work in the fields with my hands. Give me a mule or a tractor or something. Don't want freedom. A lot of y'all want comfort. And I'm not mad at you. I don't blame you. You've been trained for it. We all been trained to find, to be comfortable, to be able to make everybody around us comfortable. That's why that's why we don't raise no fuss about how they educating our children. That's why we don't raise no fuss, until now about how they police us. That's why we don't raise fusses. You know what I'm saying? That's why we don't finance the politicians to get up in there to raise a fuss, because we don't want to raise a fuss. We kind of want to just slide up under and be comfortable. I just want to lay down on master's feet just a little bit. Stop playing. The game time is over. You know what I'm saying? I got people talking about we need land or what they willing to do, but then when we talk about going out to the woods, they scared of the dark. They can't sleep on the ground. How the fuck you talking revolution? You can't sleep on the ground. Somebody please explain that to me. Don't like mosquitoes. Can't use the bathroom outside. So what the fuck you talking about? What are you talking about? You talking about being comfortable. Stop playing. Stop playing. That's what we need. We really need to have a conversation. And when we're talking with some people, we need to really be clear with them. Stop playing. We don't need money. We need land. We need land. Where your garden at? And if I'm not talking about you, don't get offended. Right? Don't be that dog that when I toss the rock and it hits you, you yelp. If I'm not talking about you, don't worry about it. Make sure you like and share this with some of your dog friends out there. Because that dog just want to be comfortable. I want y'all to remember the dog. In many of the stories, the dog was just laying on the thing, and the ones that could use the hay came to get it. They eat it. The dog was just comfortable. The dog just wanted to be comfortable. And it made him feel good that his comfort came at the suffering of other people, the uncomfort of other people. And many of the people in our circle get a sick type of comfort, a sick type of power feeling from us being in the position that we in. Because if we all in this position, they can stay comfortable. Stop it. I want free. No, you want comfort. You want to be comfortable. Call in line 614-556-4535. Please call in if you disagree with Brother Hatim. This is Folk Tales for Grown Folks. We are talking about the story, the dog and the manger. And the question I'm asking is, who is the dog in your life? Or in whose life are you the dog? Give me some examples. 614-556-4535. How long we been streaming? I done went off. I done lost track of time. I done lost my goddamn mind. Right? I lost my mind. The man is crazy. He crazy. I'm telling y'all he crazy. He crazy. He's just crazy. I'm just trying to tell you. But the truth of the matter is, family, we got to start being real with ourselves. What are you willing? What are you really willing to give up? Right? So once again, like I'm gonna present, because I demonstrate it to you all the time. I do the best I can. I put stuff together, and we throw it out there, and then I get people complaining and shit. Ain't big complaints, but it's just, you know what I'm saying? You want to be comfortable. Just admit it. Right? You just want to be comfortable. You don't want to be free. You just want to be comfortable. You need to stop lying to yourself. Really, stop lying to everybody. Because those of us that want to build, we got to understand that we're going to be uncomfortable. So, like, for example, when we open up this site, right, and the social media piece going off, I'm guaranteeing within the first 15 days, right, I'm going to have people dropping off. And that's cool because I already told y'all, because of what we doing and how we doing it, we're going to grow exponentially. We're going to lose some first because they're going to be like, I can't use the site. It's too complicated. Well, is it? What is it? Well, I can't just push a button. Give us time. Give us time. We got one brother developing this. We got some young people that's coming up that's going to be looking at some of the issues and looking at some of the problems and going to be able to work through it in time. But no, they're going to go, you know what I'm saying? They're going to go back. And that's cool because Gianni Journey still going to maintain a presence on Facebook. We're going to maintain a presence on all these other things, but we're going to do our primary shit on our own. Somebody just called in. This brother Hatim. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you have been listening and ain't just calling in. Who this?
This Chaka.
You ain't been listening.
I have been listening.
What's the name of the folk tale today, man?
You talking about the dog.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. I stand corrected. Go ahead, brother. Go on, throw some of your insight in there.
Hold on. No, this hot tip. This hot tip. So, yeah, I got a brother that's listening in. Can you repeat the folk tale so that we both got an idea what's going on in the conversation?
Y'all seen how Shaka flipped that on me and shit, right? That was cold, Shaka. You cold with it, bro. You artist, man.
Right on.
This is called the dog in the manger. The dog in the manger. A dog lay in a manger, and by his growling and snapping prevented the oxen from eating the hay which had been placed for them. What a selfish dog, said one of them to his companions. He cannot eat the hay himself, yet he refuses to allow those to eat who can. That's the story. What's your take on that?
Well, it has a lot to do with the illusion of power. You figure if they can't eat the good shit that they intended to eat, then they ain't healthy. If you ain't got your health, then how you gonna fight? Right?
All right.
My take is it has to do with the dog seeing and wanting more than he can actually contain. So, and because the fact that he still knows that he's gonna need this later, I just can't consume it at this particular point. So I wanna save it. I look at that dog as being a good steward over resources.
Now you do know dogs can't eat hay.
Right, but he's still got the mindset of reserving those blessings that have been bestowed upon him. If I can eat it or not, it's a blessing.
All right, you gonna have to go and break that one down, because I'm looking at it. The dog could do nothing but lay on the hay. The dog can't eat it. The oxen can. They just been working in the field and they trying to eat. And we got this dog laying on something that he can't even eat, and he's defending it. I think I call that bitchcraft, fuckery. You know what I'm saying? You said he a good steward, so go ahead. Go.
So who is to say that the dog rest is less important than the consumption of the human food? Because that human can still survive without eating that day, as well as the dog.
Now, it wasn't humans, it was ox.
The ox.
Right.
So the ox. So who's to say that the ox is better than the dog as far as eating or sleeping? One comes with rest and the other one is eating. So who's to say it's important?
Well, considering that the oxes was coming from the fields into the manger where they stay, where the food was put there for them.
Now you adding on to the story, but
no,
go ahead.
I'm not adding on to the story, because if you know about farms, you know that if the ox are coming in, it says the oxes are coming back to the manger. This is where the oxes stay. The dog don't stay there. The dog is okay. That's not the dog's place. The dog eats absolutely no. The dog eats no. The dog eats no. The dog eats no hay.
Hey.
Go ahead.
The dog. Hey. No, you. I was just filling in your statement. The dog doesn't eat the hay. He was resting on the hay.
Right.
So what is the purpose for the dog even being around? Oh, what if the hay was like what Crucial Conflict was talking about, like hay in the middle of the barn? Hay in the middle. What if the hay was that? Okay, I'm going too deep. I'm gonna go back to y'all.
I'm listening because I've been talking about this one for an hour.
I just look at it. I like to look at it holistically, because
I could say
that the dog's importance of rest is less important than the ox. Because what other purpose does the ox serve? Well, see, here's the thing. All right, so in this scenario, the ox is doing all the heavy, all the back-breaking work. That's the their worth. That's their value. That's what they bring into trade.
I guess that dog in this scenario is protection. But what if the dog is the protection of the territory and it needs its rest for nighttime?
What if the dog is in a manger with the ox because he's an animal? And that's where all animals go, is in the manger. And at the end of the day, he still got the mentality that he is entitled. And so as he brings that into the manger, all he does is annoys all the other animals because they like, man, he can't even eat this shit. Why is he tripping about who and how much? And this dude, man, he need to mind his business. And that's how we stand with a lot of stuff. It's like, yo, when it comes to the way that your family eat, who is somebody on the outside of that who ain't contributing to the social economics of your household? Anything they say is irrelevant. Or what do you think, Hotcha?
I'm just like, if we look at it, because homeboy, he got a point about looking at it holistically. And I could dig that. But the dog's home is not in the manger.
The dog don't have a home.
Well, if the dog don't have a home, then he's intruding on somebody else's home. That's breaking and entering.
So if you bring in Shaka perspective, they're animals and they're all, you know what I'm saying, for whatever reason, being raised in this same environment.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
Because if you think about it, how the fuck did a dog just happen to roam up there and feel that it's safe to be laying there?
Just because you feel safe in laying someplace doesn't mean that you're supposed to be in that place.
Animals are not stupid. They only rest in a place of comfort.
Okay, but it don't mean it's the right place. I had a dog. I had a dog at one point in time. His name was Power. When I first got Power would sneak on my couch at nighttime and be very comfortable.
Because he was not trained.
Yeah, but once he found out, my fact, one day I came downstairs and caught his ass on the couch, and he woke up right when I was coming. And the motherfucker crept off the couch trying to act like you didn't see what you just thought you saw. He knew he was wrong. It was a place of comfort, but he was in the wrong place. He was very comfortable. I could tell. All the way to me beating his ass. What are you doing on my couch? Just because you're comfortable in a place, it does not mean that it's yours.
So the real question that it boils down to is, as you raise Power and then you move in that structure, you have to question yourself and ask, why did he feel comfortable enough to put his ass on my couch? What made him feel comfortable enough?
There was nobody there. There was nobody there.
And put there you go. Okay, so there we go.
So now, when nobody was there, he took advantage of the moment. He felt comfortable.
So if the dog did that,
the dog is arguing about getting out of somebody else's plate, out of somebody else's space. As a matter of fact, the dog is fighting over something that the only thing he can use for is to lay down. We ain't talking about the ox coming from the club. We talking about the ox coming from a hard day of work to a place that is designed for them to be in.
But the thing is,
it's a manger.
But here goes the thing. The differentiation is between the animals. The oxen, he cherishes work because he feels as if he do a hard day work, it's a good job. But peep this, the dog cherishes his rest because he has to rest up for the fight. And what he's resting up is for this fight that's going to come up. So I cherish my rest because my rest properly prepared me for the next fight that's about to present itself before me. So while you out there working and doing that goofy shit, I'm preparing for the next fight because that next fight is going to put me in the next position of comfort to rest.
So, but the goofy shit that the ox is doing is providing the place that the dog was laying in the first place. The ox was working out in the field. The ox wasn't out grazing. The ox was out working and keeping, because if it's a manger, there's a farm there.
You gotta look at it from this perspective because it's not goofy to the ox to do what he's been born and predestined to do, which is work. All he's doing is repetitive cycles. I do this, I work this, and I put this over here for this. So it's not goofy to him because he's doing what he's been born to do. He's not even looking at it from the perspective of this, da-da-da. No, I'm doing my life's calling, my life work.
And so the dog, you saying the dog is doing his life work.
Right.
Right. But now, why the dog couldn't lay in the grass up under a tree? Why when the ox came, couldn't the dog got his selfish ass up and move? Because this is a story. The story illustrates selfishness. You do understand that, right?
I can't say that.
I mean, you don't have to say it. I mean, because if I go back, matter of fact, let's do that. Hold on.
Dog, mind state of God, because at the end of the day, he said, "You've been put on this earth, now go take dominion over it." You know what I'm saying? So
you said I'm expanding the story. You expanding the story now.
That other motherfuckers have put up for you to lay up on. You know what I'm saying? Because he told you to go take dominion. That means the shit is already put up for you. All you gotta fucking go do is go put your feet up.
Wait,
so he's taking on the mind.
What world is this? I mean, I want you to name a world where an individual that is actually a conqueror can actually just go and put his feet up. Where's that at?
The world you living in right now.
Nah, dog, the world don't exist like that.
And white superior. And it's white supremacy. What do you mean it don't exist like that?
No, bro. I mean, really, stop. Why don't you listen? Show me how this world exists like this. Because in order for this world to exist in the way it does for them, they have to be willing to maintain it. This shit is not because your ancestors or even you is just laying on your ass and just gave up. This shit is by force, constant and forever action to hold you where you are.
If you really look at this parable,
I am really looking at it.
Okay, can I finish?
Go
I'll
ahead.
let you talk. The oxen is the black man. The dog is the fucking white man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the fuck this whole shit is. So when you ask me what type of world is that, that's the world we living in right now. We the oxen as black people.
So
we
if
do
we
all the work, all this shit.
Right. We do it all. So how can you look at it from if the oxen is you, how in the world are you justifying the dog's action?
I'm not justifying. I'm just looking at it from holistically so I can prepare myself to move differently.
So
you know what I'm saying? I'm not nothing. Just because I look at something from a different perspective, that doesn't mean I justify it or rectify the position that you're in or the position that you're taking. Only thing that I'm doing is understanding that, okay, I may see where you're coming from. And though you coming from that way, I'm not going to say you're right, and I'm not going to say I'm right. I'm not going to say you're wrong or you're wrong. That's what wisdom is. Wisdom is the understanding of both ways and choosing your position.
Mm.
That's what wisdom is. Seeing things from both perspectives and then choose your position.
Are you able to look on the internet and see the show? Because I want you to look at the definitions that go along with this proverb, this folktale. Because the point that I'm trying to make is the dog represents a mind state that, as you say, is very much like the mind state of the motherfuckers that run this world. I'm going to sit on these resources even though I can't use them all. I'm going to control these resources, and I'm going to keep you from being able to eat that.
Where we living in right now.
Exactly. I agree with you. So when I look at it, you know what I'm saying, I have to ask the question, what possibly could the dog use the hay for other than just to rest on?
But you still looking at the hay. You're not looking at the purpose of the rest.
And that's a good point. That's a good point.
Don't pay attention to the hay.
But
pay attention to
so now he's so
you see where I'm coming from?
Okay. So now he's extending battle energy towards the ox.
He's conserving his energy for battle.
Why? While he's barking at the ox?
Huh?
But he's prepared to battle with the ox.
Different scenarios. Now he's barking at the ox and all this. You said he was resting. If I'm resting, I ain't barking at nobody. I ain't doing nothing to nobody, paying attention to nobody. If I'm resting on my hay,
it's not your hay. But I get you. I hear you what you're saying. Let me read the story again. A dog lay in a manger, and by his growling and snapping prevented the ox from eating the hay which had been placed for them. What a selfish dog, said one of them to his companion. He cannot eat the hay himself, and yet refuses to allow those to eat who can.
That's it. Okay.
And then if you go to
different verbiage in that one.
You said who?
I heard different verbiage in that one.
No, that's the same one I read at the beginning.
I know, but I didn't pay attention to the verbiage like that. I was just looking at, you know what I mean?
Right, I hear you.
So it's different. I don't even care though, but still have to look at it from holistic. I still can't see all being wrong, and I still can't see me being right for letting him, after I know I did all this day's work, bark at me and sit his ass up there. We're gonna have to do something. It's one dog. He just barking. I put this up here.
I agree.
For you.
They should have gored his ass.
That's what I'm saying. So you had to look at it from different perspectives.
Now, but
why he's for enough to just bark them all of my resources?
But do you know the reason for the folktale? Why folktales were created?
Sorry. You hear me, Black?
Go ahead.
I say no. I never heard the folktale. I like it. It's very interesting to me. But I'm coming in from a blind spot. I don't know nothing about no backdrop or nothing. All I heard was just a story. Boom.
I understand. But I mean,
and what you think?
You know why? But do you understand why these type of stories would be created?
I understand the purpose of parables. Yeah, I do.
What are they? I mean, break it down for us.
The purpose of a parable is to teach you a lesson.
Okay, and that's all.
Period.
That's all I'm trying to get across to all the people that's listening.
Yeah,
a lesson.
Okay,
you understand?
So what's your
lesson?
To get across?
The lesson. The point is, don't be selfish, or don't let selfish motherfuckers stop you from getting what you supposed to get. Which, in a sense, is what you're saying. Because in a sense, you're looking at the oxen because, it's, like you said, it's only one dog. But the lesson is, I mean, you can't necessarily tell kids Well, I guess nowadays we do got to tell kids you should have gored that motherfucker. But hey, you can't really tell kids that because they'll be running around doing that all the goddamn time, right?
The lesson I got out of it, which is the lesson I get out of everything, because just look at it holistically. Like, so when I go in the situation, the lesson is, what other way could you possibly look at this from?
Mm-hmm.
How many ways can you view this angle? Like, when I go into anything, that's my perspective.
Right.
How many do you view this?
Now,
like, I'm going into anything like, oh, this is the purpose. It's no purpose. The purpose is, how many ways can you see this?
But that might not produce the best type of life.
Hey, well, ain't no right and wrong in this life to me.
That's okay. I can't combat that.
I know it.
I mean, because it don't. I mean, you said that there's no right or wrong. That's okay.
Let me tell you the way I look at it. If Shaka decides to do something and bring forth a manifestation of the fruits that he was reaping, that he was looking for, who am I to say he's wrong for the way he went about reaping his harvest?
Bruh, listen. How do you form a society around no value in how things are done? You can't build like that. You know, I have to be concerned. I have to be concerned about how the people around me move, because how they move affects me. So if you don't have any scruples and you can get whatever you need to get any way you want, you can't be in my tribe. That's some bullshit. That's what we got going on now. That's why we can't build in our community right now, because motherfuckers is running around here doing whatever the fuck they want to do.
We can't build in our community right now is because everybody want to play puppet master and they want to dictate how other people should move. You can't puppet master and dictate what it is for me, because your remedy.
No, that's bullshit. That's that bullshit. Yeah, that's bullshit. You saying that you get to do whatever the fuck you want to do. That's bullshit. You got children, I got children. We both got to be concerned about how everybody move around our children. So a motherfucker could come around us and be like, yo, my lifestyle is fucking little girls. And you got a daughter, and I want to fuck her. Is it okay? What you mean you can't dictate? What kind of shit is that?
You're going left extreme.
No, bruh. You the one left it. You the one that left it open. You said anybody could do what they want to do.
I won't even think in that manner, because I don't even look.
But hold on. So now what you're saying is you got scruples. There is a limit. There's a limit, right? And that limit is set by society and is set by culture. And you got to have that in order to be able to have teamwork and be able for people to build. See, when you leave it open and be like, yo, we got to see. We've been seeing the whole world from both sides and everybody angle for so long that we done lost who the fuck we are. So everybody could benefit off of us, because I can't judge on how you get yours.
Now you're contradicting yourself. You just said you judge. You said you got.
Wait, time out. I just used an example. I just used an example. I ain't contradict myself. What I'm saying is you can't have a society where everybody can do what the fuck they want to do. There has never been a society like that.
People got a right to move how they want to move, or they have to move how you want them to move.
Oh, my God.
Which one is it? You got to pick a side.
I don't have to pick a side. You got to pick a side. You're not clear on what you're talking about, bro.
I want to move. I picked my side.
Oh, my God. No, you ain't even pick a side. You said people could do whatever they want to do.
That's a side. No, I picked my side.
That is not. You gonna let who?
I'm gonna let God dictate how I move. I don't have to move to please a man because this man said that because he did this and he brought a certain manifestation, then everybody should do this, because if you do this, move like A and B, then this manifestation is going to happen. It's not. Just because you implemented a certain strategy or certain psychology, that doesn't mean if I still implement that same exact thing, that the same exact manifestation is going to happen.
Oh my God, I hear you. All right, now, but hey, it's 10 after 10. I'm about to get up. Actually, it's after 11, because y'all came in like, an hour.
It's almost 11.
Yeah, it's after 11.
No, it's 11:11.
Yeah.
Clarification.
Okay. All right. So, but hey, I want to thank y'all for calling in. What's your name, bro? So I can,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sincere.
Say it again.
Sincere.
Sincere. Okay. All right. I want to thank you, Sincere and Shaka, for calling in. Family, we're about to call it a night here on the journey. So, like I said, all these proverbs and folk tales, go and get out of them what you need to get out of them to live your life. But, I'll see y'all in the morning. And this is Brother High Tim, and I am out.
The African Heritage Diet consists of 6 lessons. Lessons where we reach back to our African heritage to find culturally appropriate health and wellness practices that help us to move forward as a people that are whole in mind, body, and spirit. Lesson 1 is herbs and spices. Lesson 2 are greens. Greens is the widest part in the base of the African Heritage Diet food pyramid. So many greens should be consumed. And as you move up the pyramid, those are the things that you consume in lesser proportionate amounts. Whole grains, lesson 3. Beans and rice, lesson 4. Tubers and mashes, lesson 5. Lesson 6. Fruits, vegetables, and a healthy lifestyle.
I am a genius. My ancestors were geniuses. My ancestors have made me a genius in all that I think, say, and do. I must declare myself a genius. I am a genius. Whenever I am myself, I practice my geniusness and do great things. All my thoughts, choices, and deeds must express my geniusness.
I am a genius. My decisions must always be in the best interest of myself, my family, my people, and my God. Only then will I and everyone I know that I am a genius.
I am a genius. At all times, my geniusness must reflect my culture. My geniusness must serve my God. My geniusness must make me be one in love and harmony with my family. My geniusness must protect my people. Yes, at all times I must demonstrate excellence because I am a
What are we?
women, but the most important goddesses were black. Not just for the African now, in the civilization of the Greeks. The Greek was so profoundly affected by the Africans that the goddess of chastity was a black woman, Artemis. The goddess of wisdom was a black woman, Minerva. The goddess of beauty was a black woman, Diana. And many of their great mythological figures which were critical to the vision of history, the history of the Greeks in the Odyssey. The woman who draws, who has the power to draw Odysseus and all his crew into her, is Circe, who is represented as a black woman with African features on the Greek vases. The woman who helps Jason win the Golden Fleece is a black woman, Medea. The woman who marries Perseus, the Greek hero,